Hey, this is Adewale back with this new experiment of learning Python code. So, the last day I ran into some trouble trying to practice some of the codes, and I've had to install a Python editor, PyCharm, which looks something like this. Um, One of the reasons why was that I was running into some error, which perhaps highlights one of the disadvantages of using ChatGPT. And I was trying to practice because it gave me some practice questions to, and I asked it why I was struggling with getting the I was getting an error message. And just see if I can show you the. And I kept on asking it, why is this code giving me an error message? And instead of it telling me what the problem was, it kept on giving me the same code and saying you should be able to solve the problem by using this code. And it then gives me the same thing over and over again. It was quite frustrating actually, but I guess this is the part of the process. So here it was, and the idea here was that the user would put in a number and another number, then choose an operation which is either plus, minus, multiplication, or division, and then this is an if else operation to try and then determine, use whatever the user has chosen to calculate the operation, and then give you the results. But every time I run this, and I'll show you what I did, every time I run this, I kept on getting this error message. Oops. So um, kept on getting this error message, and I couldn't understand why. So I was asking ChatGPT as to why am I getting that error message? Why is it keep giving me this error? And all I just got from ChatGPT, I get an error message, can't multiply the sequence, blah blah blah. It just gives me answers that did not quite resolve the problem. So I had to do a bit of YouTube watching, and I now understood that the problem here was that I'm trying to, although it's explained, PyCharm explained it here. I didn't quite understand what they were explaining, but the problem was I was trying to calculate using both a string and a num using what do you call these operators to add two strings together. In other words, this number, when you put in this number, it is in a string form, which means it needs to be converted into a numerical form that Python understands. Then it can then be added. So I had to sort of learn about how to convert strings into integers. I think that's what it's called. And came up with something like this. So num is this. Can't remember what the integer converting into integer. It's, can't remember what that code is again. How do I convert a string number into an, so I could convert it into an integer or float. I understood. So basically, I put the num1 variable in the integer like that, and that's how I will convert it. So what happens if I do this then? So the idea here is after the user inputs, oh, this is wrong spelling. I think it's int. I believe it's int. Yeah, int. So one of the reasons I actually like this editor, it pulls up things that you've already what do you call it? Code. Variables you've already created before. This is a nice addition, and I like the way it colors the code in a way that helps you see the different functions clearly. I believe they're called functions. I may be completely wrong. So now I've passed oh, this is one, not integer. That's wrong. Yep. I've passed the values that the user inputs for num1 into the int and num2 into the int. It should now recognize num1 and num2 as integers. Let's try that now. So let's try it. 10, 5. Let's try division. Uh-oh. What if is this something wrong? It's still not recognizing. Perhaps I need to move this behind here. And I guess the life of a coder is constantly troubleshooting to see what's wrong with why it's not working. Let's try again. Let's try it again. 20, 10, delete. Still giving me an error. Why is it still giving me an error? Maybe there's something else I should do here. Okay, I'm going to watch it on YouTube again and come back. Okay, so after quickly watching that YouTube video, what I realized is I have to use this in the calculation itself. So place that there. Place that there. Place that there. Oops. Place that there. Oops. And then do the same thing with int2. So my understanding is, whilst I've passed the int into the I've sort of made this an integer, as integer, whatever it's pronounced like. If I still use this is still holding its value as a string. So if I use this unzone as it is here, what I still get is a string. So I have to use this instead. And so now it's converting it into integers, which is actually real numbers. I could use float instead of int as well. So let's run this now and see what happens. And we get our results. So that works, right? So I was spending so much time trying to get ChatGPT to explain to me why the code was wrong, and instead of it giving me that, it kept giving me this. Which, from how I now understand it, this will produce an error, right? So yeah, ChatGPT is not the perfect teacher yet. However, having said that, me experiencing that problem and trying to solve that problem was a very good learning experience. That perhaps that would help me understand going forward why some things might not work if you try to mix different data types together. Okay, so that was my experience for the last day of my experience with CC. I'm going to be going on and doing some more exercises, because they say the aim should be to practice examples and do a lot of practice, because that's where the experience comes with coding. Okay, all right, see you tomorrow.